Hello everyone, my name is Ahmed Bello. I am a software engineer with over 5 years of experience in the industry building a couple of enterprise solution applications. I have worked in several sectors such as the banking industry, the transportation industry, and also the information technology industry. The projects I've built has massively generated a profitable revenue for the companies I've worked for. It is an honor to join you at the AI Bias Bouncing Hackathon 2025, which is an event that exemplifies bold, proactive problem solving. Today, we gather not to push the boundaries of AI, but to send a theme foundational to our shared future, which is the AI ethics, building a responsible tomorrow. AI's transformative capabilities are undeniable. Yet, in this moment, I invite us not only to focus on innovation's potential, but on the ethical compass guiding it. The choices we make now at hackathons like this will shape whether AI becomes a force for equity, transparency, and global good. I'm going to be talking on four concepts today. And one of the concepts I'm going to be talking on today is the imperative of fairness and accountability in AI ethics. The AI ethical begins with fairness. We need to ensure that systems do not replicate or intensify societal bias. AI must yield outcomes that uplift all communities, especially in domains like healthcare, hiring, and lending. Equity isn't a bonus, it is a necessity. Just as vital is accountability. So if an AI system can cause harm, we must be able to answer what happened, why, and who is responsible. That requires transparency, explainability, and auditability. So AI doesn't just become an unchallengeable black box. The second thing I'm going to be talking about today is my experience. That is the learning I've gathered to become an ethical AI engineer, or my learning to be ethical by design. My experience in general is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. And here is my thought. As an AI, my very architecture reflects a commitment to responsible innovation. One, bias mitigation. You need to constantly detecting and reducing patterns that may cause harm, rooted in diverse training data and ongoing evaluation. Two, transparency and explainability. You need to provide clarity, contextual answers, owing any limitations and surfacing resources. So I provide clarity, contextual answers, and I hone my limitation and surfacing to my resources. The third thing, based on my experience, is ethical alignment. I continuously adopting with guidance from ethicists, developers, and user feedback. I learn from developers. I accept constructive criticism and I accept feedback. And that has really helped me to who I am today. The fourth thing, based on my experience, I'm going to be sharing with you the developers in the house today is safe deployment. You need to design for helpfulness, safeguarded against misuse, and operating within bounds that prioritize human dignity and well-being. And I'm going to be moving to the third part, which is my advice to the next generation of ethical engineers. The builder in the house, the developers in the house, the engineers in the house, the data scientists, and the visionaries in this room. The ethical feature of AI lies in your hands. And here is what I have learned, and this is what I'm going to share with you today. One, you need to be a bias detective. Question everything: the data collection, the labels, the evaluation metrics, and assumption, remember, can carry hidden inequalities. So you need to ask every questions, especially when you feel something is not right. The second thing I'm going to share with you as my advice to the next generation of ethical engineers, developers, is you need to design for inclusion from day one. Bake in privacy, fairness, and accessibility. Ethical design is not an afterthought, remember. And third thing I'm going to be sharing with you as my advice today is you need to understand why. Use interoperability tools. Strive to understand how your model makes decisions and help others to do the same thing. This is very quite important, and that's why you need to be curious. You need to understand the metrics of how everything works. The why, the when, the how is very quite important. You need to do that. And the fourth thing I'm going to be sharing with you today as my advice to the younger generation is you need to collaborate with humanity. Engage across disciplines. Listen to marginalized voices. You need to cooperate with ethicists, communities, and policy thinker. It is very quite important. You need to do that because collaboration does not just brings about uniformity. It shapes ideas and it makes everyone move forward. It's very important you do that because you alone cannot provide solutions in building technology. So you need to collaborate so ideas can move forward and then you can build a robust solution. Because remember, you are building a solution. So you need to very important, you factor in how you collaborate with every sector to share ideas and how creativity could be invented. And the last thing, based on my advice to the younger generation, is you need to lead by integrity. Be the person in the room who champions values, even when it is inconvenient. You need to be courageous to build better systems. You need to ensure that integrity is the forefront of your intention in building application. It is very quite important. And lastly, based on my closer reflection, is you need to build with conscious intent. Remember, your code shaped the world. So you need to be biased, hidden in plain sight. Train your critical eye to spot how disparities appears subtly or systematically. It's very quite important. Secondly, architecture has ethics. Remember, so every design decisions has downstream consequences, feedback loops, fairness threshold, and model objective. And lastly, global reach, global responsibility. What you build in Illinois may impact someone in Mumbai. Remember, so a cultural sensitive global global awareness and mindset is no longer optional. It is mandatory and it is necessity. Thus, AI future isn't dictated by lines of code. It is molded by your values, your decisions, your vision. So build bravely, build inclusively, and never forget that ethics is not the constraint on innovation. It is what gives direction. Thank you so much for everyone. God bless you.